Hello and welcome back to another episode of TWIG. So yeah, this week there's quite a lot of interesting changes that I'm quite looking forward to talking about. So yeah, let's get into the video. So as always, I'll start by putting the changelogs for this week on the screen now, so you can pause the video and read them if you want. So the new items in the shop this week are the legendary MVP title, the uncommon party horn taunt, the epic honeycomb core, the rare mechanical gravestone, the legendary cyborg McQuack avatar, and the epic rainbow cloud avatar. So before I get into all of the updates and changes and stuff for this week, I'm just going to quickly go through the first part of the changelogs. Basically, Galaxite have just said that in the next few weeks it's sort of going to be mainly focusing on quality of life updates and balancing Chronos. Chronos is a new game. The past few weeks there have been a lot of balancing changes, but that is important to get it just right. Quality of life updates, just I guess to make the server a bit better in general. And they've also said prop hunt. There's going to be some changes soon. There hasn't been any for a while, so that is quite exciting. I just sort of get an idea of what might be coming in the future. Something else I'll just like to quickly mention. This week the server helpers reached 100,000 processed reports. That's insane. The server helpers do a great job making the server better. I just thought I had to quickly mention it because it is very important. So now onto the global section of the changelogs. First thing, the little avatar selection room for new players, that's been removed. You'll probably remember when you joined the server for the first time, you were put in this little room with the 8 different common avatars, and you picked one. That little room's been removed. I think if you join the server for the first time now, it'll probably just put you straight in the hub. The next thing, the Sam and Danny Halloween event, that's now been removed. You can't do that anymore. And the next thing, there's a new command that's been added. So if you've got ultra rank or any other rank like helper or whatever, but for most people it'll just be ultra. If you do the command toggle tag, slash toggle tag, in the chat, you can choose to either display the rank before your name above your head, or you can toggle it so it's off and you don't see that. And that's pretty cool. It means because a lot of people don't really like the little thing before their name. Can look a bit ugly, it just gives an option to remove it. Also, if you just sort of want to blend in with other players, you can just toggle it off as well. But one thing I think is important is that in the chat it still displays the thing. That's just something quite important if you're using that, I guess. So the next thing is probably the biggest change or most important thing this week. It's something that I definitely wasn't expecting, but I can sort of see why it's been done. There's been a couple name changes for the different games. So the first one, Chronos, it's been changed to Chronos Battle-Royale. So it's just had Battle-Royale added on the end. Yeah, it's basically still just called the same thing. It's not too much of a big deal, but the reason I think they've added Battle-Royale on the end is so that new players, if they just see the name Chronos, they don't really know what the game's about. But yeah, just adding Battle-Royale on the end, people know instantly, oh, it's a Battle-Royale. I think that's sort of the same reason they've done the other name change as well, although this one is way more significant. Planets has been renamed to Core Wars. I've seen quite a lot of people in the community sort of thinking it's not really a good name change, but I think there is a really solid reasoning behind changing the name, because basically new players, they just see planets and they have no idea what that is. but the core wars, it sort of fits in with the theme of like other games like in other servers with like that same genre, like bed wars, treasure wars, egg wars, all of them. They all have wars at the end. So core wars, it's just like it basically lets people know like what it is about. I mean, I probably will still call it planets a bit. Like there is still a lot of people calling it planets. It's probably gonna take a while to get used to calling it Core Wars. But yeah, I think it overall it is a good name change, like as well as the Chronos name change. Because yeah, it just makes it a lot easier for new players to know exactly what they are. Like they don't have to like play it and get used to it and sort of figure it out. They're basically just told, and then yeah, it's just easier for new players to know what it is about. So the next thing is probably the biggest update or addition like in Galaxite this week. So yeah, that's Chronos Doubles. Before there was only a solos game, and now there's doubles as well. It's like the addition of doubles is like really good. Like now you can play with like other people, because before it was just sort of you could only play solos, you could only play against other people. Like there was no like teams or anything. Like and teaming was a big problem in solos. So yeah, hopefully that'll be like not as common, and like so yeah, because now people who would team can just like play as an actual team in doubles. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's great. Teaming will be less common. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna like go through some of the most important things I've sort of noticed from playing doubles. So yeah, the first thing, uh, like when you're like dropping into the map from above when the game starts, you start with like your teammate in the same spot, and one person is like on the team is randomly selected, and they're the one that's gliding down with the elytra. Um, and they sort of choose where you land. The other person just sort of goes with the other person automatically. Um, yeah, so you basically just go together. You land in the same spot. The person who isn't in control basically just is forced to go where the other person is gone, and I think that's sort of great because um, it means you sort of stick together, and it sort of like reinforces like the whole doubles thing. Otherwise, it would sort of just be like solos, but there's one person who you can't kill, because like they're on your team. You can't kill your own teammate. So yeah, it sort of makes it so you stick together, like work as a team, like share your resources and stuff, so you're both well geared. Um, and yeah, one thing I will say, it's quite important. If you're not in control, if you press the jump button, you can just like fall down from the sky in that spot. So yeah, if your teammate's gliding over a spot where you want to land and you sort of don't want to like stick together, sort of spread out, get loot from like a wider area, you can sort of just press A or like that. Oh, that's what it is for me on controller, on Xbox controller. But yeah, press jump and then you just fall from the sky, and yeah, and then that's how you can sort of land in different spots. Um, so yeah, that's something I think is quite important. Like the whole idea of you go with your teammate, land in the same spot. And next thing I'd like to like talk about a bit is like because when I first thought of like doubles, like before I'd played it, I was thinking like how it would work, and like I didn't know whether it would be like a shared time counter or like each person has their own individual time. And the way it works is like each person on the team has an individual time counting down. And yeah, the more you think about it, like thinking about what it would be like if you had a shared thing, you like yeah, the Galaxy have made the right choice having individual time counters because otherwise it would just sort of be like someone like your teammate could just drag you down, just keep on dying or like uh, going in the corruption and or like just buying a bunch of stuff and just wasting time. But yeah, so yeah, it's great you have individual time counters, so it means because I've played quite a lot of like with random teammates just solo queuing. Because yeah, the background footage for before that was just me solo queuing. So yeah, the teammates aren't always the best when you solo queuing. So it just means that like you won't get dragged down by your teammate if they're not the best. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's quite important. Like having individual time counters. Next thing, I'm just gonna sort of quickly go over what I've sort of gathered from sort of strategy. Um, it's sort of important to communicate with your teammate. Like it is quite hard if you're just solo queuing. Like you can't really type in chat. But yeah, sharing like your items and stuff. Like if you've already got like tier 5 armor and you find like armor that you think will be useful for your teammate, if you just throw it to them, that's quite like useful. And also, I've noticed like the perk Vampire is pretty good because pretty good in doubles because if you like when you're fighting like 1v2, like there's two people on another team that you're fighting, you if you as long as you like kill one of them before you die, you get like a bunch of extra hearts straight away, and it makes it much easier to kill the other person. So yeah, I think if you're playing doubles, Vampire is a pretty good pick to use. So yeah, just sort of what I've gathered so far from sort of strategy. So I'm going to quickly go through some of the more important changes, like balance and changes in Chronos. First thing, the Hunker Down perk now makes you deal half heart less damage. It used to be like quite overpowered. Like a lot of people used it. I used it a bit, but yeah, now it's not as effective. Next, Vampire. It's been nerfed to 4 hearts instead of 6 hearts. Yeah, it's like last week they made it better, and I was thinking it was already pretty good. So yeah, they've made it a bit worse, and and it's also really effective in doubles now. I think it's still very effective, but yeah. And also one of the perks gives you a vault key tracker. Now that vanishes when you find a vault key. So now for the last update this week in Planets or Core Wars, whatever you want to call it. You'll probably see from the background footage at the moment. The Painted Cliffs map has now got a solo and double like thing added. Before it was just quads. Now you can play it in solo and doubles. It's a pretty cool map. So yeah. So that's it for this episode of Twig. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and also if you're not already, please subscribe. So yeah. Also, last week I challenged you to try and make the percentage of people who watch my videos who are subscribed go up. And yeah, you did it. Last week it was 27.5%. This week it's 29.3%. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, bye.